welcome to our live session today. My wholesome family series is live again, and I welcome you. Princess Francisca Obichimeze. I am your host once more, and we are here to present to you from the Familynest Academy, our weekly wholesome family series. How many of you are here and you're happy to join me? I'm happy to be here with you again. Yes, guess what we are discussing today? When marriage speaks louder than parenting. Yeah.
November is the end of your suffering. Whatever represents.
So, you're welcome today once more. Sorry for that interruption. Today we'll be discussing about an important topic. Of course, we always talk about important issues in families, in our parenting journey, that determines the outcome of the family, why the family is what they are, how they are, and the result we get as a family. So today we'll be talking about how the relationship between couples, your marriage, how it determines the outcome of your parenting. You know, sometimes we think parenting is all about what we teach our children, what we instruct our children, the rules, the regulations, our firmness, our policies, and then we think that is all there is to it. No. Today, we'll be understanding how our relationship with our partners, our marriage, determines to a great extent what happens to our children, the choices our children make, the decisions they make, and the outcome of their behavior. Okay, we need to begin to realize that our children turn out the way they are most times due to the things they see between you and your partner. You see people who end up in the wrong marriage partners. Take a look where it's coming from. Trace it. You will find out that it boils down to the type of relationship their parents had. I want to welcome you once again. If you are joining us for the first time, this is Familynest Academy, and here we empower families to fulfill their destiny. And that means we teach both couples, children, we groom the whole family to live a holistic life and discover the reason of their existence and walk into it. And yes, today we are talking about how our family, how our couple's life, how our everyday relationship with our partners affect our children, their behavior, their perspective and perception of love, relationship, and character, as well as their choices and decisions. So, stay with me. So today will be x-raying those things that happen around the couples that either promote our children's welfare or destabilize them. and we will begin to take our relationship more serious. Thank you, right me right now. Sorry, that's a very long name. Thank you for joining us. Yes, you are right. When we begin to realize that our marital life plays a major role in our children's life, I think we will be able to be more careful, okay, more intentional, and more deliberate in not just the people we choose to say yes to. This is for singles. If you're a single person and you're hearing this, you are one of the, in fact, you are blessed. And if you know someone who is still single, bring him or her into this discussion today. If you realize that the man, the woman you bring into partnership in the name of marriage has a long way to determine what happens to the children you will give birth to, you will be more careful, because marriage is not just about you. Yes, we've been meant to know it's your choice. You will live with him, you will live with her. No, you will live with him, but there are other people you will bring into that marriage that will live with that partner. So the day you choose to marry an irresponsible man, the day you choose to marry an irresponsible woman in the name of love, remember that there are destinies attached to that relationship that will be destroyed. So it's not about your feelings, it's not about your emotions, it's not about what you think is good for you alone, it's not about you. So we must learn to make choices based on the future of the children you are going to bring into that marriage. Let me move to the married ones. And you are already married. I want you to begin to think beyond yourself. Begin to think beyond the relationship you have with your husband and your wife. And know that there are children whose future will be determined by the things you do, by the way you interact, you communicate, by the way you fight, the way you quarrel, the way you respect one another, the way you honor one another, the way you uphold integrity. They are part and parcel of what your children will pick from you in their growth, in their development, and in their becoming. So when we understand that our children are learning from us, we will be more intentional in our marriages. Let's remember that in Micah, the Bible said that God has given us to each other, that's husband and wife. God has instituted marriage so that we will bear godly seed. So God is interested in your marriage, not just for your pleasure, but for the outcome of the children. Godly seeds, not just ordinary children, not just anyhow children, not just children who will come and grow and become whatever they want. No, godly children, children well groomed in character, children well behaved, children well trained, children that has been prepared to walk into their purpose and fulfill destiny. So if you are going to say yes to a man, and that man doesn't have any plan for the future of the children you are bringing into, you need to suspend that decision and think again. Thank you. Chimeze Promise. That's my darling sister-in-law. Thank you for always being here. I really appreciate your presence. You are welcome. So when you are going through a situation in the home, remember, it's not about your partner. It's not about your husband. It's not about your wife. It's not about doing things the way you want. It's not about shouting on each other just to vent your anger. It's not about it. Remember, in that venting of anger, you are teaching your children to shout and to blow up their emotion everywhere whenever they are angry. You are grooming your children to not be able to manage their emotions. So, raising holistic children requires holistic marriage. Note it down. If you must raise children who will be healthy mentally, emotionally, socially, and otherwise, you must be conscious of working on your marriage. I'm not talking of a perfect marriage because there is none. I'm talking about intentional marriage, making daily decisions, making daily conscious effort and choices that will not just determine the peace of your home, but the peace and the choices of your children. When, as a woman, you choose to endure abusive marriage, you are teaching your children, you are grooming them to bear abusive relationships, and they will end up marrying and enduring abusive marriages, and they will not fulfill their purpose. But when you establish a marriage that portrays love, respect, honor, integrity, and structure, okay, you will realize that you are also building your children to understand the importance of honor in marriage, importance of respect. You are also teaching them to receive, accept, respect, and reject dishonor. Check and trace relationships where parents grow up one abusing the other. Trace when their children grow up the kind of relationship they end up into. Is it that they become the abusers or they accept abuse? Before we know it, we call it generational pattern. It's generational pattern, but it's what we have built in our children subconsciously. So they are able to tolerate rubbish because our mommy or our daddy tolerated rubbish. So building a relationship that is healthy first for us is beyond yourself. You're also building the future of your children. Because we've made it known that relationship we build with our children is not by the verbal teaching, the things we say. It's more of the things they see. The things that get registered in their mind through their eyes, through observations. So our children are looking, they are observing, they are analyzing, they are registering in their subconsciousness the things that grows in the home, and it becomes a norm. So one of the things you must know is that your marriage is a sermon to your children. Your marriage is, the things you do in marriage is stronger than the Bible you preach to your children. Sometimes you read the Bible, you read Bible stories, you preach to them. It's like it's coming in here and going through here because they cannot imagine it, they cannot envisage it. But you see that one, the one they see every day, that's the one that registers. So your marriage should be able to reflect the message, the sermon of the love of Jesus. You heard me. If you must teach your children the love of God, it should reflect in your marriage. As a man, your children should see the way you love your wife genuinely, the way you care for her, the way you support her, the way you embrace her, the way you talk to her honorably and respectfully. When you do that, your children will learn how to talk to people respectfully. But if you are that man who picks up on your wife, shout at her, remind her mistake in front of your children, wait, your children are picking it up. The same way as a woman, your children should be able to see the way you honor your husband. The way your husband says a thing and you say, yes, daddy has said it, we will do it. Sometimes you see your children, your husband will give instruction, and then when he's not there, your children will be nudging you to go and do it. They just want to see you if you're able to honor your husband's policies and rules behind him. Or, oh, daddy is not around, let's do it. You have just taught them that you dishonor your husband, you disobey him in his absence, and you have taught your children hypocrisy. You have taught them that when daddy or mommy is not there, don't do what they say, do your own thing. But some of us are the architects of this, of disobeying our children. Oh, daddy is not around, you can have it, but don't tell daddy I allowed you. You don't know what you are doing to your children. You are empowering them for failure. You are empowering them to live a disobedient and destructive life. In other words, you are telling them all the things we are teaching you ends in this house. If we are not there, do whatever you want. And that's why the husband and wife must have the same principle. They must stand on the same policies, the same standard. So that even when mommy is not there, daddy will say, this is the rule of the family. No one goes against it. We will not do it. When daddy is not there, the mom will still say, no, our family value is this. We will not go against it. You are teaching your children stability in character, in behavior. You are teaching integrity, honesty, love, respect that is consistent. So don't live your life carelessly. Don't let your marriage be careless. If you have differences in your marriage, I'm begging you, work on it. Your marriage must be standing enough to be able to help your children's marriage. When your children grow up in a loveless marriage, they will end up in a loveless marriage because they don't understand what a marriage full of love implies. They don't have the example. They didn't have it at home. So when they see it, they may not understand it and they may feel it's a falsehood. You see people say, hey, no man is faithful. See, I don't believe that. I'm not saying no man, that every man is perfect, but I'm saying I don't believe that no man is perfect. There are intentional men. When people say every man cheats, no, every man does not cheat. It's those who lack honor and respect for their wives. Those who cannot control themselves, that lack self-control, they are the cheaters. They are the ones that cheat. Let's not promote promiscuity and infidelity in the name of culture. Who brought that culture? And that's why we don't understand how it breaks not just your wife or your husband when you cheat. It breaks the home. Because it will. That's why you will see couples who are living in unity. They are pursuing one thing. Once one person cheats, watch that home. It will be difficult to work in unity of purpose. It will be difficult to pursue the same thing. Because the person that has been cheated on, we have divided attention. A lot will begin to read in her or his mind with that fear that that same person may cheat again. Everything you have built will begin to crumble before you because that partner will no longer have confidence in building it with you because she or he may think one day you will wake up with another partner and then everything you have built together will be shared or even taken away from him or her. So you must fight unfaithfulness. You must fight infidelity with all your strength, all you have. Fight it with your partner. Someone is sneaking and saying hi and you're not talking to your partner. You are grooming and gearing towards cheating and breaking your home, and not just your home, the future of your children. And do I tell you, when your child grows up in a broken home or a marriage where there has been cheating and they know, somehow they will know, they will live in fear in their own marriage. So, I want you to know, your brokenness is transferred to your children, even if they don't experience it firsthand. You will see a wife suspecting the husband, not because the husband has cheated, trauma, because her father cheated her mom. She never healed from it. But then we'll be busy fighting one another, and we don't realize that the children roaming around, playing around are picking, that they are building fear for their own future. So we must stand to take responsibility over our own life, over our own marriage, for the future, for the destiny of children God has given to us. Oh, my marriage has been established to raise a wholesome child. So when you have issue with your husband or your wife, please find a way to sort it out amicably. Build a better and effective communication style that is able to help your children learn how to communicate effectively. So you are slapping your wife and you say, oh, I'm sorry, it's a mistake, I couldn't control yourself. Go and learn self-control. Go and work on your emotion. You are slapping your wife. You are raising your hand on your husband. And your children are seeing. Oh God. You deserve the kind of punishment I will not mention here, because do you know what you are doing? You are raising children who are groomed for failure in their future relationship. Not for what they have done, but for what you have failed to do and the errors you have committed in their presence. So you must take responsibility in building a godly, loving, and faithful marriage. Is your duty, is your responsibility. Put up structures that will help your marriage. Okay? The way you shout at each other, you're transferring it to your children to shout at their own life partner. And they may be lucky, God will bless them with a faithful partner. And because of what they have picked from our home, they will mess it up. I was listening to one interview that was going all over the social media. How a woman was crying in regret. How she couldn't accept the love from her husband. Why? Her father. And it's more common than we really open up to, than we even accept. It's very common. Where marriages are being destroyed based on what the couples have experienced from their own family, their own parents' marriage, not from the immediate marriage they are in. Their father's failure, their mother's failure in marriage. And you see, this advice we used to give to our children, especially the daughters, the home, you are the manager of the home. You should be able to put your home together. Even when the man is misbehaving, you have to manage and keep the home together. Let's stop that rubbish. Let's stop grooming our children to be traumatized and abused in marriage, because we tolerated it in our own marriage. We should not put our children in that corner. We should not put our children in that space where they become a subject or object of abuse and they cannot escape, because in their mind, They have been trapped to believe that they have to work the marriage out by themselves. It's their fault if anything goes wrong. Thank you, Chama. Oh, Chichi, my lovely sister. Thank you for joining us in this session. So, what am I saying? The psychologists call this emotional imprinting. When we shape the atmosphere with fear, with loud tone, with anxiety, we are shouting, we are imprinting in our children's mind, subconsciousness, the wrong things to be done in marriage. Not every couple shout on each other. So don't normalize it. Don't think it's normal. If you find yourself at that point, just know that you've been building up grudges, grievances, and you need to really sort things out. You need to sit your partner down, have a discussion, have a clear description of what is happening around you and how to find solution. It is not normal for husband and wife to be punching each other, to be fighting. It is not normal. That is not the way God set it to. The Bible said that God, when he saw Adam, he said, I will give you a help suitable for you, not a help to destroy you, not what I'm trying to find, not an enemy. God didn't give Adam an enemy. God didn't give Adam a wrestling what do you call it, counterpart. God didn't give Adam a competitor. God gave him a help meet, a help suitable. You just have to ask yourself, what are we not doing well? What is going on here? What do we need to sort out? Your communication. How do you communicate to your partner? Do you have common value? What is the value that upholds your marriage? What is it that we cannot accept here, that we need to sort out? How do we resolve conflict in marriage? Do you talk about it? Do you step aside, have a set apart time? Or do you, everybody, say it loud the way you feel, irrespective of the children or anybody around? Some have even started recording as they are talking with their, yeah, so you feel you slap me, oh yeah, now slap me, and they're on social media. What a mess we have made marriage, that the next generation may begin to fear marriage. Even our generation, some of us are scared of marriage because of the template, the wrong examples people before us have set. And some of us are going in that line. We are tolling that line where everything is out there in social media. We are now creating content with everything. While God has given you so much for your generation, you are now using your marriage to entertain people. No more honor for marriages. Everybody says anything, talks anyhow. The means marriage because of what they have seen people do in the name of creating content. The sanctity of marriage has been watered down. Some people, as they are even going into that marriage, they're already making provision for divorce or separation. How did we get to this point? On what value then will you raise children for marriage? You will not empower them, teach them. Oh, if the man messes up, carry your bag, come back home. If the woman messes up, slap her. You are the head of that marriage. How? Some of us, we don't teach it verbally, but we model it by the things we do every day. The way we shut up our husband, the way we shut up our wife, the way we crack rubbish joke. Some of us, we call our husband names in the name of joke. Idiot. And you are laughing. Oh God, what kind of standard are we establishing and building for the next generation? I have a niece. After wedding, I saw on WhatsApp status, she was calling her husband one silly name and was laughing, and I warned her. I've not seen that kind of video again. I know she still make video, but I've not seen her. Like, how can you call the man God has given to you to honor? What kind of jokes are that? Even the Bible said that let your word be honorable, because you will be judged based on the things you say. How about I tell you, even the things you talk to your children about, the way you rebuke them, the way you correct them, the way you call them names, that God will judge you. You think you are joking, but the Bible said that life and death are in the power of your tongue. Some of you used to call your husband Ishak Bobo, or I'm trying to find a name in English for that. Blockhead. And we call it a joke. Let your joke be honorable. I remember growing up when I was living with my elder brother, who was a pastor, with another pastor's wife. And if anything happens and she's angry, she will say Rakwa sugar. That used to sweet me. So instead of calling you name, she would tell you to go and lick sugar. It's her way of expressing that she's not happy with what you have done. But it registers so much in my head and in my mind. How about we take up that approach instead of verbally abusing people, even your partner, your husband, your wife? How about you find an honorable way of doing that, so that the person know, oh, my wife is not happy with what I've done. My husband is not happy with what I've done. If I do something, my husband will crack a joke and I will catch. But it's not that kind of joke that will make you angry. But he will still register what he wants to say. So you should establish an honorable way of communication in your home, because your communication is absorbed by your children. The way you talk, respectfully or disrespectfully, your children pick them. And that's how they will relate with other people. When they grow, that's the way they will relate with their life partners, your tone. The other day, I was talking to my daughter, and I was so soft. I said, Mommy, why is your voice so low and soft? I said, what? But she knew that what I was telling her was something on a normal day. I would have shouted. But I've learned to mellow down. Like, shouting doesn't make any difference. It only triggers that fear